Okay.
Hello, my name is Will Jones, and today I'm going to be talking about public school funding in the state of Tennessee. Now, I want you to all think back to a time when you were in grade school. I assume most of you attended public school, and I know most of you attended school in the state of Tennessee. I want you to remember the things that could have been better. The number of tutors, the number of teachers, or the quality of the equipment you had in your school. And to think that an increase in funding could have fixed all of these problems. And that's actually something that's currently being addressed in the Tennessee state government right now. Now, why is the funding an issue, you may ask? Well, the Tennessean tells us that compared on a student-by-student basis against national average, Tennessee residents receive $4,000 less per student, and we're actually ranked by WalletHub as the 8th least educated state in the country. Now, because of these issues and other reasons, Tennessee should revamp its current formula for public education funding to be better suited to deal with the current need. Now, I'm sure you had no idea that this was even an issue, but let's discuss why. According to My Public Tea in Schools, the formula is called the BEP, the Basic Education Program, and that determines the total amount of funding needed to run public schools, and it comes from a state fund and a local fund. Now, this formula has 45 total factors, but the main 3 factors are school attendance, property taxes, and sales tax. Now, as you can guess, this can be highly problematic. The CCP tells us that income for an average sized family in the state of Tennessee can vary between $18,000 and $252,000. And these families we tend to see are clustered together. So lower income families tend to live closer to lower income families and vice versa. Now, what this does is creates a large, wide variety of the amount of funding these districts receive on a district by district basis, because that formula is based off of sales and property taxes. Now, Jones actually researched and found that in 2020 in the state of Tennessee, this has such a big impact that we can directly link higher family income to higher GPA and ACT scores. Now, as we've seen, there are many issues in our current system, but we can look at other states and see where their public education systems are highly successful and draw influence from them. Now, first, we're going to start in the state of New Jersey, which according to VSN is one of the best education programs in the country. Now, their system's essentially the same, but they have one major factor that is different. They have an equalization aid program, which takes, and it comes from a state fund, but it attempts to scale the amount of funding the schools receive based on their size. So in practice, what that does is, say if your school has 2,000 students, you might receive $2,000 per student, but if your school has 4,000 students, you might receive $2,500 per student. And they found that in their state, that is what's needed to be successful. Now, in Massachusetts, GBH tells us that the state government determines what the price of running a successful school district in each state should be, or in each district should be. And they have also calculated what each district should be able to pay to get a successful district. And what they actually do is they redistribute the wealth among these districts so that all of them can be successful. So in practice, what that looks like is if it costs $3 million to run your district, and your district is able to pay $2 million, and there's another district that it costs $5 million, and the district's able to pay $6 million, the government will redistribute those funds so that everyone is able to be successful. Now in Florida, the BEF tells that they actually have a district cost differential, and what that is the state of Florida determines what each district needs on a district by district basis to be successful. And then if they're not able to reach that goal, the state of Florida will pay the rest out of the state fund. Now, we have no need to copy directly any of these systems because we have our own issues, but we can definitely learn from them. Now, as we discussed, our current system is not successful at all. We are one of the lowest ranked in quality of education in the country, and our current system is only making it worse. On the bright side, currently, this is being discussed in the state government, like I mentioned, but we're far from a solution. Now, although there is no right way, we can definitely draw on the examples of other successful programs. We've seen that on a district by district basis, if we address the need at that level, it tends to have a more positive outcome. And also, presenting extra aid to districts that need it is a viable solution. Now, all we can do on our level is to support and vote for politicians that recognize this issue and are willing to learn from the data and work to make Tennessee better tomorrow. Thank you.